The ocean is a breathtaking realm, a world so vast and mysterious that it feels like an entirely different planet. With every diving expedition, you uncover new wonders, never knowing what incredible life forms you might encounter. For those fascinated by sharks, this is a journey you won't want to miss. While many people fear these apex predators, a close encounter with one can completely shift your perspective. From intense 2-on-1 battles to unexpected sneak attacks, here are 20 jaw-dropping shark encounters caught on camera. Stay tuned, these moments will leave you in awe. Number 20. Woman survived shark scare during solo swim of Kayak Channel. Rainey Pierce had attempted to swim the Kayak Channel from Molokai to Oahu, Hawaii, about to nail a massive physical feat, when she got a sudden shark scare. Though it was probably just there to say hi or maybe add Rainey to the food chain, she had uploaded a video from her swim on YouTube, stating it was actually the first time her drone pilot had been in a boat in the ocean and tried to film a swim. She was prepared and had a team of escorts on the boat and kayak closely following her during its journey, and she was only allowed to be fed by a string or pole throughout the journey. This journey usually takes about 15 to 20 hours to complete, and Rainey was paced to get the job done in 17 hours. But then a shark was spotted. Luckily for Rainey, the kayaker was able to maneuver his way between her and the shark, giving the boat enough time to scare off the surprise visitor. But this visitor was there to stay, as can be seen in the footage, swimming back to Rainey. Rainey had to get to safety first, so without completing the race, she swam back to the boat, and the shark was still there. Better safe than sorry, I guess, was what Rainey must have been thinking, but you gotta admit that was really a close call. Number 19. 9-foot bull shark spotted in Florida backyard. We might as well go ahead and file this under the things you don't ever want to see in your backyard category. Suddenly, he noticed something strange in the waters. Soon, he realized in shock that it was a giant shark curiously wandering around his backyard. The man was quick to make a video out of this unexpected encounter, even though they were pretty sure that he was terrified by the sight. As scary as sharks are, they are pretty much simple creatures that do not want anything to do with humans. They so happen to be valuable animals that are part of the ecosystem of the ocean, and without them, the balance of the ocean would probably be thrown off balance. The video is like a scene from a Hollywood horror movie and would make your heart leap into your stomach. Imagine seeing a shark in the pool of your own backyard. We bet you'd be taken aback or probably feel insecure the next time you want to take a swim. The video was shot from Fry's home in Bonita Springs, where the 9-foot bull shark was spotted swimming close to the dogs through the channel just outside his building. This happy-looking predator is roaming freely in the water without even taking notice of where it is. Seems like the shark doesn't bother that it isn't swimming in the deep blue of the ocean, as long as it has enough space to make itself happy, and as long as it is not bothering anyone. Number 18. Galapagos fight diver over a yellowfin tuna at Ascension Island. There are many tuna lovers out there, but not many of them would be willing to have a 2-on-1 battle with sharks over a tuna. This footage was obtained from a YouTube upload about 4 years ago. Apparently, some diver decided to go tuna hunting and had to actually nail the big catch, but little did he know somewhere in the deep dark water, 2 Galapagos have been waiting for the right moment. It was really a long way to go from New Zealand to Ascension Island to nearly get eaten by sharks while trying to secure a yellowfin tuna. The diver had shot a pole spear and was about to reel his catch in when these 2 cunning sharks tried to steal the catch. Very brave of him to fight till the end, as we can see in the video where he managed to grab hold of his catch and return to the boat unharmed. Clearly, he earned himself a spot at the top of the food chain for pulling quite a daring stunt. Number 17. Hawaii diver swims with record-breaking largest great white shark. Ocean Ramsey is a marine biologist in Hawaii who swam with the great white shark and claimed that she wasn't even a little bit nervous. Ramsey said sharks like the 8-foot wide one she swam next to swim past surfers, swimmers, and divers all day every day. She has been studying the great white sharks for over 10 years and estimated that the shark that became her swimming partner earlier this week weighed in at over 2 tons. She and her team were studying tiger sharks off the coast of Oahu, documenting the animal's behavior when they encountered the great white that would have sent most swimmers fearing for their life. The video was breathtaking and striking to say the least. It had gone viral after Ramsey posted pictures on Instagram and made an upload to the YouTube channel. In the video of the encounter, Ramsey is seen holding the shark's fin while they swim side by side. Seeing Ramsey next to the shark gives you a sense of just how massive the great white is. According to Ramsey, she suspects that the shark might have even been pregnant. Number 16. Shark coming dangerously close to surfers in Cape Town. The surfers paddling on their boards and swimmers standing in the water appear to be unaware that they were so close to this bronze whaler shark. Some viewers indicated that there was another smaller shark further out as well, and as many have pointed out, the shark was probably looking for fish, not humans. Many viewers have, however, identified it in the popular surf spot Caves, which is part of Kogal Bay Beach and Nature's Preserve. Another previous encounter had at the same time location where a man was killed by a great white. Bodyboarder David Lillian Field was with his brother when he was attacked by the 13-foot shark and dragged under the water. The beachgoers had to witness this 20-year-old have his right leg ripped off. He was taken to shore after his terrific ordeal but died just before the doctors could reach him in the attack in April 2012. This area is now known for its sharks during the summer months, and following such an event, shark spotters have been placed on duty and on high alert at this beautiful spot, which is popular with surfers, swimmers, and picnickers. These shark spotters have apparently identified this new shark as a juvenile bronze whaler, which means that this predator is certainly not aggressive towards humans and would only have been looking for fish. Now it's time for today's topic. Footage released by the Miami Coast Guard captured a dramatic rescue of a surfer in choppy waters. The man was casually waiting for a wave on his board, unaware that a shark was lurking beneath him. Far from shore, no one noticed the danger, until a passing drone spotted the predator circling nearby. The drone operator, quick to act, alerted the Coast Guard, though there was no way to directly warn the surfer. Realizing the threat when he saw the fin, the surfer stayed calm and waved for help, hoping to draw attention. Fortunately, the shark hadn't yet noticed him. Soon, a USCG helicopter arrived to airlift him to safety. In a heart-stopping moment, the shark leaped out of the water, narrowly missing the surfer as he was hoisted to safety. Miraculously, the man was brought back to shore unharmed, thanks to the swift actions of the drone operator and the Coast Guard. Number 15. Great White Shark Encounter. This terrifying video shows fisherman Johan Potjaeder diving 19 meters underwater, searching for reef fish to eat, when a great white suddenly appears only an arm's length away. Mr. Potjaeder and his fellow divers, Francois Moutz, René Nel, and Eric Fari, came into close contact with the deadly predator on August 27 in Arniston, 209 kilometers to the east of Cape Town in South Africa. Mr. Potjaeder was looking to his right and initially didn't notice the shark until it swam close to his left. His muffled screams are heard as he instinctively prods the shark away with a spear gun. The great white speeds away but suddenly makes a quick 180-degree turn and swims directly at Mr. Potjaeder, who screams again and crosses the great white yet again with a spear gun, causing the shark to abruptly turn away. After alerting his diving team to be safe, he ducks his head back under the water only to see the shark swimming right underneath his feet. The boat is seen quickly motoring over to pick up Mr. Fari and Mr. Potjaeder, who immediately toss their spear guns into the boat before throwing themselves into the dinghy. The divers spot the shark continuing to circle close by, and as the boat begins to race off, they see Mr. Moutz, the last diver, who pops out of the water before being pulled out by his team. Number 14. Close call vid from expert kayak fisherman Mark McCracken. Mark McCracken, a 33-year-old construction worker from Santa Maria, California, had filmed a 15-minute encounter while he fished for bonito half a mile off Gaviota State Beach near Santa Barbara on Saturday. Like every other close call shark encounter, this one hit the back of Mark's kayak twice, and he turned around to it. You can't tell from this footage if he was biting the kayak or just headbutting it, but I doubt Mark would care about that detail. But it doesn't involve him escaping. As soon as Mark saw this predator, he just started going at it with the paddle. The footage showed the animal circling around for several passes at the kayak and each time being hit away by McCracken's paddle. Poor thing probably just wants to play. Anyway, luckily McCracken decided to row into shore, but the animal's fin was seen continuing in pursuit. It had followed him all the way into about 3 feet of water, and even after he had gotten off the kayak and made it to the beach, the shark was just sitting right there, which was somewhat creepy. Number 13. Man fights off great white shark in Sydney Harbor. Imagine just wanting to take a cool, relaxing dive in the water and just let loose that stress accumulation from the day's job. And then, just when you think you can finally relax and let the cold water do the job, you start hearing someone warning about a shark in the water. Well, in this video, a man in Australia got a little too close to a great white shark, and it was surprisingly all caught on camera. Apparently, the man was using a GoPro camera, which he had strapped to his helmet. We can see him jumping off the rocks, and after catching his breath, he hears his friends warning him about a shark in the water. The guy quickly takes a dive but comes face to face with the unexpected creature. He struggled for a lot to swim to shore, and it didn't look easy at all, especially since he was trying to not get eaten. Thankfully, the shark wasn't really in the attacking mood, so he got out safely. As we can see at the end of the video, the guy is still in awe while holding the camera to his face. He could have been lunch a few minutes ago, but he got out just fine. He probably should inspect the water next time before blindly jumping in. Number 12. Great white shark surprises a solitary surfer. Surfing at the Bluffs campground in San Onofre State Park in San Clemente, Camp Pendleton in Southern California was a solitary surfer. It was just the day after the Southern California winter rain in 2017 when this guy decided he wanted to go surfing. He was actually looking to try his GoPro camera for the first time and happened to be the only one out. And with the next wave appeared a great white shark about 10 feet away and swimming from left to right of him. He had simply assumed it was the 5th juvenile great white he had seen in the water 2 years prior, and so he wasn't bothered. Well, at least not until this juvenile turned in his direction, and that is when the real trouble set in. He quickly spun his board and escaped from the scene. At the end of the video, he claims that it is the closest he has ever been to a shark and probably might be the last time he is going to let such an encounter happen. Number 11. Great White Mauls Boat Engine in Perth. A video that looks like a scene out of Jaws had surfaced online, and it's likely so. A Western Australian family, while out on a fishing trip, had captured the terrifying moment a 4-meter great white shark mauled their boat. The footage is still making waves across social media platforms as we can see today. David Tuckfield was out on the water off the coast of Mandurah, south of Perth, on a Friday with his wife, Kunya. Their son, Shelby, had been reeling in his catch when the predator suddenly decided to reveal itself, and it must have been after the catch. The great white, which was estimated to be about 4 meters long by Mr. Tuckfield, swam right up to the side of the boat, opening its mouth up wide and using its razor-sharp teeth to chomp down on the boat's outboard motor. The predator continued circling the family's boat for an hour, giving them a Good Friday they'll never forget. And despite how terrifying the encounter may seem to everyone, the Tuckfields called it the highlight of their Easter weekend, and they were definitely looking forward to fishing there again. Number 10. Little bitty boats and big sharks don't mix. Just off Stewart Island, shark experts Jeff Kerr and Andy Casagrande are in a small boat and on the heels of 20-foot great whites from the lair of megashark. They plan to put a camera on the fin of one of the sharks and then track it to the feeding ground of the mega predator. One of the sharks eventually breached the surface with Andy awaiting to attach the camera, but unfortunately, this predator went in for the rope holding the small boat to the big one. An expected turn of events, which was a close call, but this predator wasn't done yet. It soon returns with a friend, and from the footage, those things are almost bigger than the boat itself. Now, the video doesn't tell us if Andy and company ever got to the megashark or placed the camera on any of the shark's fins, but they certainly will be telling a lot of tales in this terrifying shark encounter they just had. Though it may seem fun to them and only terrifying to us. Got a comment? Then let us hear your thoughts in the comments section. Number 9. Shark roaming close to swimmers on Miami's beach shore caught on camera. A large tiger shark was seen in November 2007 near the South Beach in Miami, Florida, swimming dangerously close to beachgoers who had no idea a predator was floating inches away from them. Photographer Kenny Melendez was flying his drone above the South Beach waters at 8 a.m. on November 24th, hoping to get some scenic shots which he was going to show to his cousin how drones worked, when he noticed a sizable shadow near a swimmer. He immediately panned the drone camera close to the water, hovering at just 15 feet above the surface, and as it turned out, the shadow was that of an enormous tiger shark that was swimming really close to the sandy beach of Miami. Melendez decided to let his drone follow the shark around for the next 10 minutes as it swam up to the unsuspecting beachgoers waiting in the waters. And although the shark was swimming a few feet away from the people, they seemed to be unperturbed by the aquatic visitor, probably because they obviously hadn't noticed its fin circling the area. Melendez had mentioned he was not standing in hearing distance of the beachgoers, so there was no way he could possibly have warned them about the impending danger approaching them. And it's clear that there was no way for them to know about it without getting a warning. Luckily, they quickly exited the ocean, and no injuries were reported. Number 8. Great White Attacks Boat. A rubber boat is definitely the last place you'd want to be after hearing a shark is on the loose, but what do we say about this unlucky group of German tourists who found themselves in this exact situation? The group was happily watching seals at the coast of Mossel Bay in South Africa, clearly unaware that something bigger was beneath them the whole time. They had gotten the shock of a lifetime when a hungry white attacked their rubber boat. The shark's massive jaws clamped down on the side of the vessel, its razor-sharp teeth tearing through the rubber as if it were paper. The tourists screamed in panic, their faces pale with fear as the boat rocked violently from the force of the attack. Water began to seep in as the shark thrashed, its powerful tail slamming against the boat, threatening to capsize it. This 12-foot great white came in without a warning, like other sharks normally do. According to Rainer Schimpf, who organized the tour, he believes the shark had mistaken the boat for a dead whale. From the video, the 12-foot female had savaged the side of the vessel, causing part of it to deflate. And with the unbalanced boat, Rainer thought it was wise to quickly retreat, least of all to repair the 2,000 pounds damage. Number 7. Shark spotted swimming very close to shore off Cape Cod Beach. A great white shark was spotted less than 10 feet from the shore in Cape Cod days before a mother swimming with her baby had a narrow escape. The predator, which was estimated to be 10 feet long, was photographed swimming in the shallows of Race Point Beach in Provincetown, Massachusetts, on a Sunday in July 2021. Sharks were spotted in Cape Cod not once, not twice, as the charity warned of the great whites hunting near the shore. The shark's sleek, gray body moved with a quiet grace, its dorsal fin cutting through the water as it prowled the shallows, sending chills down the spines of onlookers. The woman and her baby, unaware of the danger, continued to play in the water, their laughter contrasting sharply with the tension building on the beach. The shark's dark eyes seemed to scan the shoreline, its movements deliberate as it circled closer to the unsuspecting swimmers. According to the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, the second sighting was just 20 feet from the shore and 3 feet from a woman and a baby in the water. Thames and Mackenzie and her friends saw the shark swimming less than 10 feet from the shore when it was first sighted. She mentioned she had noticed the seals in the area staying out of the water as the shark approached. She had also mentioned on social media how the shark swam back and forth in front of them for about 10 minutes. There were no lifeguards in the area when the shark was spotted, and she did not have cell phone service. But it's very clear how close to comfort this predator came to be, as it spent quite the time in the water close to shore. Number 6. Video shows shark attack feet away from Cape Cod surfers. As the Discovery Channel's Shark Week programming drew to a close, the shark activity on Cape Cod was indeed far from over. In August 2018, Nowsat lifeguards evacuated more than a dozen surfers and swimmers from the waters after a shark was spotted attacking a seal. Twitter user Ken Martin of Boston showed the video from just moments after the shark attack, where a bloody seal carcass floated just feet away from the shore. The water turned crimson as the shark's powerful jaws clamped down on the seal, a stark reminder of the ocean's raw and unforgiving nature. Surfers scrambled to paddle back to shore, their faces a mix of fear and disbelief as lifeguards shouted warnings through megaphones. The shark's dorsal fins sliced through the water, its movements swift and deliberate, as it circled the area, leaving everyone on edge. The beachgoers watched in stunned silence, their eyes fixed on the unfolding drama just meters from the shoreline. Another video uploaded by Martin shows a somewhat chaotic scene as surfers and lifeguards call out to those in the ocean, waving them to come back in. The latter had way more than 100,000 views. According to Martin, the shark had allegedly taken out a seal in the middle of the 20 surfers just 30 feet from the shore. And in a separate tweet, he mentioned that the shark disappeared shortly after the event. Chaos had clearly ensued for a few minutes after the attack until everyone at the beach was accounted for. Number 5. Great white sneaks up on family. Carlos, a great white shark enthusiast and professional photographer, is one of the many blessings we have on Earth. This young man had devoted his time to not only photographing the essence of the great ocean but took it upon himself to use his drone as a shark alert for clueless people. In this footage he captured a year ago, a 9-foot juvenile great white shark curiously lingered near a family, which included 2 kids. The shark's sleek, gray body moved silently through the water, its dorsal fin cutting through the surface as it closed the distance to the kayak. The family, blissfully unaware of the predator's presence, continued paddling, their laughter echoing across the water. Carlos's drone buzzed overhead, capturing every detail as the shark's shadow loomed beneath the kayak, its movements deliberate and calculated. The children's paddles dipped into the water just inches from the shark's snout, a moment that sent Carlos's heart racing as he watched from above. The shark's curiosity seemed to grow as it circled tighter, its dark eyes fixed on the kayak, testing the boundaries of its curiosity. The family, however, sees his drone above the shark and huddles together to appear larger. Unlike most encounters Carlos had filmed, the folks did not in any way pursue the shark after the initial encounter. And although the shark did remain nearby for a few minutes, it never returned to the kayakers. Number 4. Huge Mako shark jumps into fishing boat. An amazing video of an enormous shark that jumped onto a fishing boat and became stuck has surfaced on the internet from the United States. In the footage, which was filmed on July 6th off the coast of Long Island, the fisherman looks on in horror as the huge Mako shark squirms around on the deck of the boat. With its body trapped beneath the guardrail, the shark bit the rail several times in its struggle to release itself. The sound of its powerful jaws gnashing against the metal echoed across the deck, sending waves of panic through the crew. The shark's thrashing movements sent water and blood splattering in every direction, creating a chaotic scene as the crew scrambled to react. Its sleek, silver body glistened in the sunlight, a stark reminder of the raw power of this apex predator. The crew's shouts and quick movements only seemed to agitate the shark further, its tail slamming against the deck with a force that shook the entire boat. It violently shook as it tried to make its way back into the water below, but its long dorsal fin kept it from slipping back into the ocean. Captain Law and others on the vessel tried to devise a plan to free the animal, and they had very little time as they spoke. Massive amounts of blood spilled from the shark's mouth. The crew immediately tied a rope around the base of the shark's caudal fin and hooked its head with a fishing line to keep it looking into the ocean and obviously away from them. Not long after, the men, after having seemingly been able to squeeze the shark's dorsal fin through the railing, lowered the shark into the water with the rope. Eventually, the fisherman managed to cut the shark free, and it quickly slipped into the water before swimming away. Number 3. Huge hammerhead shark circles clueless swimmer in Florida. Jason McIntosh had posted a video to Instagram showing the scene that unfolded just offshore in Miami Beach when the approximately 10-foot hammerhead shark approached a man who was swimming on his back. According to Sharksider, hammerheads are known for their ability to make very sudden and sharp turns. The nail-biting footage was captured by the 41-year-old Jason McIntosh, a drone photographer from Miami, who was floating his drone over the water 25 meters away from the shore on November 15th when he captured the amazing scene. The hammerhead's sleek, elongated body moved with a grace that belied its size, its wide, flat head scanning the water as it closed in on the swimmer. The man, blissfully unaware of the predator's presence, continued to float on his back, his relaxed posture a stark contrast to the tension building in the air. Jason's drone hovered closer, capturing every detail as the shark's shadow loomed beneath the swimmer, its movements deliberate and calculated. The swimmer's casual kick nearly grazed the shark's head, a moment that sent shivers down Jason's spine as he watched from above. The hammerhead's curiosity seemed to grow as it circled tighter, its dark eyes fixed on the man who remained oblivious to the danger. The swimmer, who was clearly unaware of the shark, gives the drone camera a thumbs up while the hammerhead approaches. The shark made circles around the man, who nearly struck the predatory fish in the head with his foot at one point. Talk about a close call. Luckily, the hammerhead eventually loses interest and swims away, leaving the swimmer untouched. This video has so far racked up over 100,000 views via Instagram and more than 20,000 views on YouTube. Number 2. Tiger-shark encounter. In an episode of Blue Wilderness, we are taken back to the epic tiger-shark dive in a special director's edition. Mark and crew set off for a world-famous tiger beach in hopes of coming face-to-face with some very large, very hungry tiger sharks, and they did just that. In fact, they got so close that both Mark and Coyote have to pull off underwater maneuvers when confronted by tiger-shark face-offs. The water around them churned as the massive predators circled, their striped bodies gliding effortlessly through the depths. Mark could feel the pressure of the water shift as one of the sharks darted toward him, its jaws slightly open, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Coyote, meanwhile, found himself in a precarious position as a curious tiger shark nudged his hand, its rough skin brushing against his fingers. The tension was palpable as the team communicated through hand signals, their eyes darting between the sharks and each other. The sharks' movements were unpredictable, their curiosity turning into brief moments of aggression that kept the divers on edge. Mark's heart raced as he executed a barrel roll to avoid a sudden lunge, the shark's tail swishing past him in a blur. Coyote's reflexes were put to the test as he narrowly avoided a reflex bite, his adrenaline spiking as he pulled his hand back just in time. If Mark wasn't able to avert it, this could have become a terrific bite episode, and that is definitely not what he wants to happen. The team soon started to run out of air, so with that, they had successfully closed their shark diving expedition with no one hurt. Number 1. 18-foot shark attacks cage. Brandon was out to test if fishes could sense vulnerability in man, and this theory was tested on the shark's turf. But little did he know he was about to be food stuck in a vending machine. He was right about fish sensing vulnerability because the sharks only came closer to the cage when Brandon had his back turned or when he took a vulnerable position. As the massive predator circled the cage, its dark silhouette loomed ominously in the murky water, sending chills down Brandon's spine. The shark's movements were deliberate, almost as if it was studying its prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Brandon could feel the vibrations of the shark's powerful tail as it brushed against the cage, testing its strength. The sound of metal creaking under pressure echoed through the water, a stark reminder of the thin barrier between him and the apex predator. Despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins, Brandon remained focused, knowing that any sudden movement could provoke an attack. The shark's cold, unblinking eyes locked onto him, sending a primal fear through his body. This 18-foot shark, after circling around for a while, went straight for one of the floats, and pulling Brandon out could be one of the worst mistakes they could be getting at. The only safest place was inside the cage, assuming it would still be in one piece. And that concludes today's video on 20 terrifying shark encounters caught on tape. Let us know what you think about these incredible predators in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to check out our other exciting content popping up on the screen right now. See you next time.